Hi everyone, it's Jessica here. I'm going to film my second tutorial, and this one's going to be alcohol ink. So I'm just showing you some pieces that I've done recently. There are so many different styles that you can do. So what you're going to need is isopropyl alcohol. I use 99%. I buy this from Costco. It's $10 for 4. I use Jacquard Pinata Brass Metallic in all of my pieces. And then there are different brands of ink. Copic are my favorite. And the colors that I'm using today are Agate, Amethyst, and Slate. And then you're going to need some of these droppers. I bought a 300 pack off Amazon. And then optional is a heat gun. I try to use a heat gun just to speed up the drying time. But I don't typically move the ink around with the heat gun. As well, you want to be careful not to warp the paper. The paper that I'm using is called Yupo, and it is a watercolor paper, so it's non-porous, which is going to allow the ink to move around on it nicely. So there, I'm just adding a drop of, I think that's Agate, with a drop of the brass in there, and then surrounding that with isopropyl. Yeah, that was Agate. So this is one of the ways that you can create a fade. I'm going to blow it with my breath. You can see my messy bun there. We're in isolation, so I haven't been washing my hair very much. Giving it a little bit of a break, no heat styling, just what we're dealing with this whole COVID pandemic. So you'll see now I'm just using the heat gun to sort of speed up the drying process once I'm happy with the way my fade looks. One cool thing about ink is once it's dry on the page, you can add some more isopropyl alcohol and it will continue to move that ink and blend it out, which is what you just saw me do now. Playing that around a little bit. I think I went and changed because it was super warm. I'm just using the heat gun again. And basically, you're just going to keep doing that with all the different shades and colors. And each piece is truly unique because even if you wanted to duplicate one, it'd be extremely difficult to because ink has a total mind of its own. I'm adding some more agate there with some isopropyl and just blowing that around. And I kind of had an idea for this piece when I started. This one's done on 20 by 26 inch Yupo, and you can buy that in sheets. You can get it in rolls, which I also do. I struggle with the rolled Yupo though because it's hard to get flat. So I like to buy it in those big sheets. You can get them in pads of paper as well. But the biggest that you can get for the pads of paper I think is 11 by 14. Which is actually my most popular size when I'm selling them. I think it's nice, it's affordable. So now I've added Slate. Slate is my absolute favorite Copic. Actually my favorite ink probably altogether. It has these ghost colors to it that you'll see as I fade the ink out. So it starts as this beautiful navy, almost purple, and it fades into like a lighter purple and some blues, and you can even fade it out into a pink. It's a very unique color. Super pretty. I think if you're starting out alcohol ink and you want to pick up a few different inks but you don't want to splurge too much, I would definitely pick up Slate as one of them. So if you're looking online for them, they're called Copic Various Ink Refills. And this is Slate, which is BV29. And then Agate as well. is one of my favorites. That is B99. Yeah, those are my two favorites. And then as far as metallics go, there are a lot of different ones. There's a silver, there's rose gold, there's gunmetal, copper, there's gold. But my absolute favorite is the one that you'll see me using, and that is Jacquard Pinata Brass. And it just flakes and moves really well with the pigments. I find a lot of silvers tend to blend into your inks, which I'm not a huge fan of. My favorite silver, if you are more of a silver person, because I know a lot of people are, is Molotow Liquid Chrome. That's pretty easy to use. I add it onto the paper a little bit differently, where when I add the Jacquard Pinata Brass, I put the ink down first, then the brass. When I use the Molotow Liquid Chrome, I put that on the paper first, and then I put the ink on top of that. And then I blend it out with isopropyl. And that gives you probably the most similar flaking to the Jacquard Pinata Brass. So I'm just kind of figuring out where I want this piece to go. This is my first time filming in this spot of my house. I did it right in front of the big window, so neighbors kept walking by, which is a little bit embarrassing. Not that I think they could tell what I was doing, but it is what it is. I needed the good lighting. So now I'm trying to decide what to add next. I know I wanted to add a third color. And in one of the smaller pieces I showed you, I had added almost like a teal blue-green color, but in this one I decided to go with purple. I think I'm adding it there right now. Yeah, zooming in so you can see a little bit better. This one's super pretty too. This is Amethyst. It's V17 and it fades out into kind of a pinkish color. Super pretty. That one's super pretty, and then I love Violet as well, which is a Copic also. I'm trying to think some other ones I'd recommend. I really like Copic Argyle Purple. I don't have it with me, so I can't tell you the number. But they list the names on the website, so you should be able to find it. B39 Prussian Blue is really pretty too. It's a navy blue that fades into a pink. A little bit tricky to work with. There is some staining, which works if you're trying to create dimension. So I'm just working that purple kind of up into the corner. I find I tend with my pieces to have them flow sort of across. I do like to have a lot of negative space as well. Turn that off. That's another great thing about the ink. If some ends up where you don't want it, you can just take a piece of paper towel and soak it with isopropyl, and you can kind of just buff it away. But once again, some of the colors do stain. But I find it usually works in your favor. Sorry, you get to see a lot of my arm in this shot. It's difficult to film because I have to blow the ink around. You don't need to use your mouth to blow. I just find I really like the softer fades that you get. When I first started doing alcohol ink, I would use, it's like a blow dryer. It's one of those like you have the curling iron attachments and it blows hot air. You take the attachment off and it's like the perfect kind of amount of airflow, whereas I find blow dryers are a little bit too strong. And I used that a lot in the beginning. But now that I'm a little bit more experienced with it, I prefer using my breath, and then I will take the heat gun and just kind of speed the process along. You get softer fades that way. You have more control, really, as well. Yeah. Overall, I was pretty happy with this piece. Right now, all of the stores seem to be sold out of that slate color, and I'm getting down to the very end of it, which isn't ideal. But I put an order in with scrapbookpal.com. I've never ordered from them before. They're in the States, and I'm in Canada, so shipping wasn't cheap. I only ordered 2 inks. I had to pay duty on that as well. I ordered them a couple weeks ago, and they're not here yet, so we'll see. We'll see when they come. I used to get my Copic various ink refills from Blick.com, and I would order it to a postal mailbox in the States and drive over every weekend. But now that we are on lockdown, can't do that, so I order them from Curry's, which is a Canadian art supplier. Their shipping's pretty quick, which is nice. And then I get my Yupo from Desserts. But if you're going to order it in the big roll, you're going to have to order it from Blick. That's the only place I've found it. I'm super excited because they have 30-inch by 60-inch rolls now. So I'm excited to do some bigger pieces. So far, the biggest piece I've done has been 26 by 40, and I recently just ordered a wood panel to attach it to, so I plan on doing that soon. Maybe I will take you through the process. I want to resin it as well. I'm also going to do a tutorial on that. I almost feel like I need to add some background music to this video. It's tricky in my house. I have a dog that loves to bark. So filming a video and kind of talking throughout while I'm filming the video is not easy to do. As well, I find with ink, you're so busy actually moving the ink around. It's not easy to talk through, which is why I'm doing the voiceover. I might do a video just explaining like my favorite products and things like that. And that'll be one that I sit down and I can actually film and talk to the camera, etc. So yeah, we're getting to the very end of this piece. My camera ended up cutting off, but you didn't miss much. I just took some of the gold and splattered it across just to add a little bit of details. I like to do that. I find it really ties a piece together, especially when you're using different colors. Yeah, if you want to see more, I post daily on Instagram. My handle is at Aesthetically Jess _. I have a Facebook page, not super active on there. I have a TikTok. I'm in the 30 plus club on TikTok. That's been fun. I also have an Etsy store. There's not a lot in there right now. I'm going to update it soon. It's tricky because I work full time at a law firm. And it's hard to find the time on top of my day job to get all my art stuff in check. This video is sped up a little bit as well, so it's a 15-minute video. I put it in 2 times the speed mode because I felt like 30 minutes of this might have gotten a little bit boring. I may speed it up further and put some music in the background just as something calming for people to watch. But yeah, thank you for watching.